Welcome to the last England Rugby Analyst of the World Cup. I'll talk about what I'm going to do afterwards, but I'm recording this video straight away after that terrible, gutting defeat to Australia. Mainly as therapy, I think, so I can sleep at night and not think about it. But I've got my notes and I'm going to talk about the future. Very quickly, that game, Australia absolutely outclassed us, big time. Scrum time, they smashed us. At the breakdown, they completely smashed us. And tactically, I'll talk about, again, they got it right and we kind of got it wrong in a number of ways. So Australia deserved to win, better technically than us today. We lost to Wales because we weren't mentally strong enough. That's why we lost that one. I thought we had the technical edge last week. This week, just not good enough. So England deserved to go out of the World Cup. I'll say that now, absolutely. I've always said England weren't going to win it. I was hoping they were going to get out of the pool. Any other pool they would have got out of. That's not saying that means they're any better or any worse. So in some ways it's putting us out of our misery, although it does destroy the rest of the World Cup for the most of England. But anyway, there you go. I drew Wales in the sweepstake. Fantastic. I'll go and support them maybe, because I'm not bitter too much. Okay, anyway, so that's the match done. Let's talk about the future, because that really is the thing that interests me the most. Lancaster, for me, he's done a great job so far, in some respects. What he's done is he's built a fantastic culture, which wasn't there since the Clive Woodward era. Wasn't there at all. He's built that fantastically. The fans believed in the team, the players were very well motivated, there was a great work ethic, there were no bad eggs in the camp. Fantastic. So he's put a brilliant base in there and he's got a lot of the right players there, but not all of them. So I'm giving him credit for a number of things. He's very good at certain things. But clearly, to take it to the next level, I just think there's been too many mistakes that showed he's just not quite good enough to take them to the next level of performance. And I'll just try and justify that exactly, because I don't want to assassinate Lancaster's character, because I do like him, but the evidence has been stacking up and I've been saying it in every video. Terrible selection, I'm sorry, it's just terrible selection again. I was perfectly happy with Farrell and Burgess playing against Wales, because they saw there was a massive physical threat from Wales. They go straight at you and that's it. And they did actually nullify them, but they bottled it mentally. Look at my last video to work that one out. So that's fine. Now this is Lancaster's biggest problem. It's his biggest strength, it's his biggest problem, his loyalty. Owen Farrell played well against Wales. No matter what some people say, he played very well. So he rewarded him with starting in this game. And no, that's not what you do. At international level, knockout rugby, which this game was, you've got to pick the best team for this game. And Farrell was no way the best 10 for this game. You had Joseph available again, and Ford and Joseph are your match-winning combination. That's it. There is no other midfield combination that will win you a match, for me, at a World Cup at the top level. So why did he start Ford? His loyalty and trust in the players, and he's just got to realise that's at the top level. That's not what it's about. It's about winning. You have to be harsh. You have to say, done a great job last week, but tactically Ford and Joseph are the best call, and they were the best call. And you saw it at half time where Ford came on. Second massive error. Joseph was irreplaceable. He was the only back on that pitch that was completely irreplaceable. Anyone else you could swap in and out and it would have worked fine. They had no cover for someone getting injured in the back three, especially the wing. And to have your plan, which they would have had the plan, to on purpose move Joseph to the wing was insane. It's the stupidest thing I've seen Lancaster do, and that pushed me over the edge for him. He's the one player you need at 13 to win a game, and for me, Ford at 10. Stupid, stupid, stupid. What do you do? Well, maybe you pick Henry Slade on the bench, or you take Danny Cipriani, like I've been saying all along, who can give you more cover. So dumb. Really stupid. So at that point they'd lost it. They'd probably lost it anyway. So those two things and the mistakes he's made throughout this World Cup, look at the rest of my videos, just not good enough, I'm afraid. So he's done some things fantastically well, but when it's come down to the big calls, not good enough. Again, I like Lancaster. He's a good guy. He's done lots of stuff very well. I'm not trying to assassinate this guy. I'm just trying to give you my view of why he's not quite good enough at the top level. If you disagree, comment. If you agree, please comment. Also, do subscribe as well, because obviously I'm going to go away until the Six Nations, and you probably won't know the videos are back unless you subscribe. So please click subscribe if you like this sort of stuff. I think as a club coach, he will be amazing, because, you know, if you lose in a league, okay, fine, you move on. It's the aggregate that gets you the league win or gets you up the table. And in knockout rugby, international rugby, that's not the case. It's winner takes all pretty much every time. And he started off too slow. Let's go all the way back 4 years, and he started picking players that would fit his ethos. Not good players, not the best players. I'm not going to name them because that's harsh. But run-of-the-mill players, hard players that stuck to his game plan, did what he wanted, didn't rock the boat, and for 2 years he pretty much filled his team with those sorts of players. And then it was just too late to bring in the really good players and get them enough experience to be top players. Launchbury made a shocking mistake today in the game. You're a guard for a reason. You guard the side of the ruck, and he completely drifted off to the other side of the pitch, and they scored, and that was the game almost lost there. His inexperience cost them the game. Plus, at the beginning, they had a penalty, and they should have just said, Ben Youngs, again, bottled it for me. He should have just said, I'll take the penalty, ref. I'll drop the ball if I have to. I want the penalty. But they just got too excited and kept playing and lost the penalty. It was 3-3 at that point, and got the penalty, go in the corner or kick at goal, you're ahead, completely different. Just not good enough. Lancaster clearly didn't tell them this is what you need to do. If you're in a tight game and you have a penalty, take the penalty. The back row is just not good enough at turnovers. It's not quick enough on the ball. Australia destroyed them. Hooper and Pocock, or Pooper as they were called, were super pooper, and they were over the ball, all over it like a fat kid on a cupcake. Unbelievable. England nowhere near. He's had 4 years to get his back row right, and he thinks he knows what his best back row is. The problem is, to win top level international World Cup rugby, it was not good enough. You needed a 7. Full stop. Everyone's been saying it for years. Lancaster's been going, no, this is my guy, he's the captain. Great player, Rob Shaw. I like him a lot. He's a 6. Okay, he's a 6 or a decent 7, not a world-class 7. But he's a nice guy, great guy. I'm not trying to assassinate his character, but Lancaster should have thought, I need a world-class 7. He's not a world-class 7. He can be on the bench, he can be in the squad, fantastic. Make Wood my captain at 6 maybe, and find my world-class 7. And he just hasn't done it. He's done nothing about it. There's been one world-class 7, Armitage, sat in France, and he's done nothing about it. He's gone and talked to him very nicely. No. Find out how Armitage will play for England. Make a way of getting Armitage to play for England. Too nice, stuck with Rob Shaw, not good enough. So going forward, Lancaster's laid a base. He's done some things fantastically well, but he's far too slow to pick up which teams were going to win a World Cup, which players, were going to win a World Cup. And he's got there far too late. The midfield, he had to rush in there with 2 guys without any caps in the World Cup. That's just ridiculous. You can't win like that. If you look at my pre-World Cup video, I didn't understand how Burrell hadn't got in. I'm not so actually upset that he picked some of the other guys, but why on earth didn't you pick Burrell? Anyway, whatever. It's gone now. The future, Lancaster just can't carry on now. There needs to be someone who picks up his fantastic work, which he's done so far, and takes this team and move it on to the next World Cup. By the next World Cup, if you keep the bulk of these players and add a few, like in the back row, inside centre, you can have a team over 600 caps. Then you're in with a chance. So let's see who that will be. I really expect Lancaster to go. He's done fantastically well. Thank you very much, Stuart. But let's move on now. Clear out a few players that aren't quite good enough. It doesn't matter if they're loyal and they're nice and they follow the rules. You need the best players. And we move on from there. So I will be following England, maybe for the next 4 years, hopefully, just doing videos after each of their key internationals and hopefully culminating in them winning the World Cup in 4 years. That's the plan. Let's see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you want to keep getting these videos come the Six Nations. Southampton won again, didn't they, on Match of the Day? Maybe that will cheer me up. Maybe it won't. I don't know. Anyway, until next time, enjoy your rugby.